What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and today we are talking all things feminine hygiene and all of those wonderful things sometimes our parents forgot to tell us about staying fresh down there. We're talking about more than that, but let's talk about that forbidden word we don't say. Shall we say it together, class? I'm in professor mode. Vagina. No, it's not a dirty word. Growing up in a sanctified home, growing up Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal, click like if you can relate. My mother was a missionary, and even though she did a wonderful job at teaching me different things about my body and other things I learned the hard way. Now, my mama watches all my videos, so hey mama, growing up we call it the Jane or the Stanky Jane. If you had a pet name for growing up, let us know some of those names down below. So today is all things that the honey pot, the lady bits, the lady parts, the hoo-ha, your precious lamb, your vajayjay, whatever you call her, let's call her healthy. We will also talk vaginal odor, bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, vaginal discharge, and much, much more. But we're going to get into some of those heavier points that our parents forgot to tell us, but we ain't gonna forget today because we're getting real candid. And all the items I talk about can be found down below in the information section. And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe. And also click on those notification bells so you can know when I upload on Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you also check out my Now That's Life podcast, which is now live, and you can check it out on all your major podcasting platforms. Links to my podcast can be found down below in the information section. Now, the first thing is that you need to get to know your body and your vagina as a whole. The vagina is quite important because it has a pH balance. It's usually between 3.5 to 4.5 and is considered slightly acidic. If you throw that off or imbalance it, you can find that you get bacterial infections or you're more susceptible to other vaginal problems. There's a lot of things that can throw that vaginal pH off. Unprotected and protected sex, all the sex. Periods, douching, we don't do that. Medications, more specifically antibiotics, and even your birth control. Scented soaps, sugary foods, and alcohol. Be aware of what could be throwing it off, and also ask your doctor some tips on what you can do to make it better. Now, the next thing is when you're doing your period, do it right. That means don't sit and stew in the same pads and tampons all day long. You should be changing those when you go to the restroom, remembering to bring extras with you, and make sure that you're protecting yourself in that way. Leaving them on too long can cause toxic shock syndrome and put yourself in the hospital, like serious stuff. If you want to learn more about it, I've linked an article down below about toxic shock syndrome. You can cause your skin to open up, to blister, which can make you more open and susceptible to infections. To do the period the right way, we have so many options out here now, y'all. When I was growing up, we really didn't talk about having all natural pads, all natural tampons, and having all natural wipes, but now you got options. Besides that, we can use the right absorbency. And this is why you all always hear me talk about natural products and companies who really support what I believe in. Companies like Lola, who I've partnered with to bring you guys today's video. Did you know that the FDA does not require that these feminine care product companies disclose to you all of the ingredients in your feminine care items? So most of them don't bother to do so. The thing I love about Lola is they're a company that believes in being transparent in the ingredients that they use in their feminine care products. I love to know what's going down there in Miss Vagina. Lola products are 100% organic cotton with no added chemicals, fragrances, synthetics, or dyes. Lola is a wonderful subscription that is also fully customizable. You can determine the items that you get in your box, what types of things you get, the absorbency, the frequency, and even when it delivers to you. You can change, skip, or even cancel your subscription at any time. For every purchase, they donate feminine products to a homeless shelter. And y'all know I love a company that gives back. The biggest thing I've loved about receiving products with Lola is everything is so discreet. No one knows what's being delivered direct to your door. Y'all, they even have trial sets, and for just $5, Lola will send you an assortment of products including tampons, liners, and even cleansing wipes. And it's risk-free to try out without a monthly commitment. So get 30% off on your $5 trial set today over on mylola.com and enter my code DrNina30 to redeem your offer. That I know some of you all are afraid, and many of you all have maybe not even seen a gynecologist before and definitely haven't been there in years, but I urge you to go. They can give you good and specific specific recommendations on feminine care and feminine hygiene products based on your specific pH. They can also pinpoint what's going on with you. If you have extra discharge, they can tell you what's going on. They can also help you with your sexual health, give you information that is valuable for your life. The other thing is that they can check your breast during a breast exam during your annual pap smear to make sure that you're not having issues there or finding any lumps or bumps. Now, I did say annual pap smear. Now, your girl goes every year. Some people say that they like to go every other year, and I've heard in some countries it's every 3 years. However, I urge you, especially if you're sexually active and even if you are not, because it is an early detection mechanism. I'm adopted, so I don't take any chances. I go and lay my butt on that cold table and open them legs and let them go ahead and check everything every year. The other thing is my gynecologist is really hardcore on this because of my birth control. Every year I get a new prescription for birth control, and I do use the NuvaRing. I'm going to do another video on that because you guys have asked a lot of questions about my experience in 14 years of using a NuvaRing and not having any issues. I'm not saying it works for everybody, but that's why you go to the gynecologist to figure out what works best for you. Go to your doctor and go regularly. Go as much as your insurance allows, and maybe even go outside of when your insurance allows, because your life depends on it. It's not enough to just get a pap. You also need to request blood tests, and your girl gets blood tests on everything. Your pap smear, a lot of people have the misconception. They think that it tells you every STI and STD or other issue that you might be experiencing. The blood test is really one of the only things that can pinpoint exactly what's going on in your body according to your blood levels. When you get a pap smear, a lot of times it's just looking for abnormal cells down in your reproductive organs. So let me hip you to the game. If you don't order specific tests that are looking at chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, BV or bacterial vaginosis, or even yeast infections, you're not going to get that information back. You might get that it's an abnormal pap, and you might have to come back for, say, a biopsy or something of that sort. But if you want those specific tests, you have to ask for them. And I like to take the extra mile and get my blood tested for everything. My doctor does something called a passport test. I've informed you guys about this before, and a lot of y'all told me you went to the doctor and got it done. And not only looks at all of the major STIs and STDs, including HIV, syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, it's looking at the levels of your blood sugar, your insulin levels. Do you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, cholesterol issues, vitamins and vitamin deficiencies? All of those things can add to negative reproductive organs, and also it could be adding to your body odor if you have certain levels that are out of whack. Ask your doctor and know what your status is on everything. Also, that helps you in the dating pond, baby. If there ain't nobody got the papers, you need to have the papers. You should be very clear on what's going on inside your body by blood. And any partner that I choose to have should also have that information ready. Now, the next thing is for my workout people. Make sure that you're not sitting and stewing in wet workout clothes. Not only does it smell bad, them tight spandexy pants and the shirts holding on to all that body odor, and if you sweat like me, honey, it ain't gonna smell too good in the next hour or so. So you shouldn't be running errands around town or sitting down to have a nice lunch with a friend. You could be increasing your chances for bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, and other bacteria unknown to man. So you don't want to discover it in your pants. Wash yourself off well. I recommend definitely taking a shower, especially with the workout. Whole bath, we not doing that either. We washing off completely, and then we get to our dry clothing and underwear. Butt sweat is real. Yes, I said butt sweat. You know that sweat that when you get up off the seat and you look down and you see that it's a line and it's a little sweaty because you've been sitting in a meeting all afternoon, and it's quite embarrassing sometimes. The thing that I do on those days is make sure that I have on clothing that is breathable. If I'm going to be sitting for a long period of time, I certainly don't want to promote the growth of bacteria. So I also might wear a panty liner on those days and wear cotton extra breathable underwear. Our bodies just produce a lot of juices and a lot of things. So if you want to protect yourself from that, make sure that you're making the proper precautions. Also make sure that you're going to the restroom enough and you're not just sitting there stewing in your juices, where you can go to the bathroom, and planning out your day, especially when you know you're going to have to sit for long periods of time. Also, I like to bring along some wipes, because sometimes during those days you can get that dreaded musty odor if you're not keeping that area extra clean and nice and dry and supported in really being able to stay clean. Now, as a lady, you should be washing those underwear and bras regularly, and you shouldn't be wearing your underwear and bras for more than 24 hours. Let's just air something out here, okay? For me, I like to make sure that I'm not washing in things with a lot of scents and dyes. Remember, this this is going directly onto your body. It's going to your vagina. It's going to your butt. It's going on your breast. All of your most beautiful assets are exposed to detergents. And try to use things that are more natural in their process and more natural when they go onto your skin. I don't just wash my underwear and my bras freely. I put them into an intimate bag and then wash them so that they are separate from my other clothing and they're kind of washed through a filtered process. I have these in my Amazon shop. Now, beautiful ladies, make sure that you know that your vagina has a natural discharge and a natural smell. You should be familiar with that, and it's yours. It's okay for you to know what it smells like so that when it's off, you know if something's going on, because when your vaginal smell is off or if it has an odor, that can be indicative of having like bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, an STI or an STD, or something more serious. So you should get in touch with how much discharge is normal for you or what you normally smell like. And it ain't like oranges, juices, berries, and butterflies. You need to be realistic about what that smell is, be clear on it, and when your body is going through something so that it can be addressed. Now, if there's ever a vaginal odor with a foul, fishy smell or other foul smells, you need to get your behind straight on up to the gynecologist or your doctor to find out what's going on. This is not the green light to wash harder. I know growing up, some of us were taught that somehow our vagina teleported off our bodies and we should wash it in this harsh, hard way. But I'm here to tell you, it's not to be abused, because you can cause the body even more problems by throwing off the vaginal pH by trying to put soap down there to cleanse it out and get the smell out. It only makes it worse, so go to the doctor. And also treat your precious lamb like it's precious. Come on, y'all. And y'all, there is not an excuse not to go to the doctor. Even when I was an undergraduate and in graduate school, I definitely went on down to the Social Security office and I saw what I qualified for. And I was able to get free women's care yearly, including a PAP, blood test, bags and bags of condoms, free birth control, even electricity assistance and food stamps. Now, I ain't had no kids, but I was definitely becoming Dr. Nina, and that was my kid. So you might want to explore your options if you're very low income or if you're a student, because there's no excuses to give up on your health. The next thing is to wash yourself regularly. You should probably shower at least once a day to make sure that you're getting all residue and everything off in order to decrease body odor as well as bacteria. The other thing is to make sure that you're washing your hands regularly, especially when you're on your menstrual. You definitely don't want to be spreading the gift of blood everywhere. So even if you can't see it, there are remnants of it. If you are handling your tampons and sanitary napkins, you need to make sure that you're washing your hands thoroughly for your own health, and everybody out there don't want your vagina juices. The next thing is to stop playing who can hold it the longest. I had to stop playing peeing racehorse all the time, because you could be causing yourself urinary tract infections and other infections. And believe it or not, your outer area of your vagina needs to be wiped because it keeps urine smells off of it. And you're also cutting down on the buildup of sweat and your natural discharge. And in these situations, I opt for all natural wipes, unscented, or just make sure that they're organic or natural in nature so that they're able to help your body and not harm it. I like to keep these in my bag, keep these around me to spruce up my body. And remember, if you can use it to wipe down the middle, you usually can use it to wash under your arms, underneath your boobs if they get hot and sweaty there, because I know that can cause odor. I had a 35H, I've had a breast reduction, so I understand it. Keeping those wipes on hand are good for even more than just your vagina. They're just going to help you feel better overall throughout your day. Now, all of us have fallen victim to believing that we need that tight spandex, the extra lace, G-string, the T-thongs. I stopped all of that a long time ago. You want to know why? Because my vagina was at risk. You can't put everything down there, especially not like laces that can cause irritation and abrasions down there. You want to make sure that you're cutting down on the sweat and cutting down on the buildup of bacteria. So I usually go commando at night. I try to go in a direction that allows that thing to breathe. But outside of that, cotton and breathable underwear are your best friend. I love cotton, breathable boy shorts. Calvin Klein has some of the best ones. Jessica Simpson has a wonderful line. You can find it at Ross. You can find them at Marshall's. I love my bras the same way because bras can carry odor as well. I like to make sure that they're breathable, they feel good, and I don't go for underwire. And when that metal is there, sometimes it cuts into my skin and it can cause cuts, bruises, scars, and other things that can spread bacteria on your skin. Now, over here on this channel, we don't encourage premarital sex, but people are getting it in. If you're gonna get it in, make sure that you're absolutely responsible. Remember that sex can throw off your vaginal pH, but you can cut down on that by practicing safe sex, meaning with a condom. Are you allergic to latex? Are you allergic to lambskin? Know those things and know the lubricants that could also set off your body and cause an imbalance. Be very careful about that, and also take the responsibility into your own hands, ladies. Even if you don't have a penis, so if you're gonna be doing it, do it. Carry the condoms. And let's take it a step further, shall we? Know when your condom expires. Right down at the bottom line of your condom, that's the wrong side. Right down at the bottom of your condom gives you an expiration date. A bad condom or an old condom is just like having no condom. Now y'all know I get absolutely irritated talking about how to wipe, not because people don't know, but because people know and still do it the wrong way. If you're wiping from your back to your front, you just made my skin crawl, you broke my back, you're causing me issues, and it ain't even my vagina. If you're wiping from the back to the front, you're bringing fecal matter into your vagina where it does not belong. So keep your vaginal wiping and your anal wiping separate. One of the best ways to do that is to carry yourself those natural wipes or even baby wipes. Carry something that's going to keep you cleansed and keep you good in those tight spaces. And be thoughtful about your wiping process, and don't wipe too hard. It is a precious area, so be very careful about the type of tissue you use on that baby, because it only gives you what you give it. Make sure that you're washing the right way, and what I mean by the right way is you don't want to use the same detergents, dyes, and body washes that you're using all over your body to use down there, and unless you're using all natural washes. So y'all know that I love the honey pot wash, and I also use the Pangea wash. These are pH balanced for your vagina. They're gentle, they're great cleansers, and they're made with all natural and organic processes. And if you want to take it a step further and not use anything, just use your hand and warm water. I never use a towel down there when I'm washing, because y'all know how I feel about cotton towels. Even if they're clean, they can carry some bacteria. So be very gentle with your V. It's a time for you to get intimate with her and wash it very gently. That you can control the way you smell and taste even through your food. You want to make sure that you're curbing the spicy food, alcohol, garlic, onion, cauliflower, asparagus, cabbage, red meat, excessive dairy, and broccoli, because these can all carry a heavy scent down there. And some reports have been made that it's better for you to eat more citrus-like foods like pineapple, grapefruits, oranges, and vegetables like cucumber and parsley in order to keep up on a nice clean scent. Drink lots and lots of water. You know your girl likes to drink a gallon a day, but at least aim for maybe a half a gallon or even a little bit less. I've heard even half your body weight a day in ounces of water is a really good way to go. Green tea is a great way to get around not liking water but adding something to the water, because that helps to curb on foul smell as well. So a big thing that can bring a funky odor to your vagina is having a lot of excessive hair down there. I'm not saying that you have to go bald, baby, but you might want to clip it down in order to cut down on that, because the hair does collect on body secretions, discharge, and other things that can increase the odor down there. You might want to trim it or even shave it, or get a Brazilian wax if you bout that life. So if you're gonna shave, make sure that you shave smart. I have a whole entire video dedicated to shaving and how you do it the right way, so I'm going to link that down below. I'm not going to go in detail on this video. Find the right razor or trimmer, and even if you don't want to shave, you want to make sure that you're trimming it down with nice clean scissors so that you can cut down on some of the hair that collects some of the odor. Prepping the area by trimming is a nice idea, especially if you're going to shave. And I also make it a point to exfoliate just lightly, not over the top, but just lightly. Apply shaving cream and not shower gel to shave. Shower gel will have you itching all over the place. And shave with and not against the way that your hair grows in order to avoid ingrowns. Rinse everything off immediately after you shave. Follow up with a moisturizer and clean your razor. So that's all for today, y'all. I hope you learned some things today that can increase your feminine hygiene intellect and understand some things about you that you can do better in order to be your best. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, because we all know people that can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace. Special thanks to Jason Bowie of Trinity Media Solutions for co-producing and filming today's video. His information can be found down below in the information section. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.